Hello friends, let's continue our journey to learn Agentic AI. We learned what is Agentic AI, generative AI. We learned what is prompt engineering, what is RAG, what is vector embedding, what is chunking. So let's now understand what are guardrails and where do we need to use guardrails. So any system gets different inputs, so user can ask any questions to the solution. It could be any command or any so we need to screen the input. So whether this input question coming in is in line with the solution or it is out of context, right? Uh, Other than that, any such questions has to be blocked, and if by mistake user is sending any personal information, it should be secured and it should not be sent to the language models of right. So while agents are doing the processing, example like it is doing a flight booking and user may ask, I want to book a flight to the Mars. So that is something not possible, and such question should be blocked. So that is where the guardrails uses comes in, right? So the system has to be also safe, relevant, and provide high quality response. So if there are too many such questions coming, and if the guardrail is not able to block, there would be the wastage of tokens, and also it will the solution will not be of good quality. So as part of ethical AI, we need to guardrail the solution, and any questions related to not related to the solution, like some person may ask know about Bitcoin or a news or a sport, while the solution is for flight booking. So all such irrelevant question should be guardrailed. Okay. At the same time, the output validation, whatever user the answer is passed, it is in the right tone, and the information is correct, that needs to be guardrailed. So like in such case, the context of the past answers can be used. Suppose there is some solution which is providing medical health related information at the start of the when the input comes in, and the start of the agent, probably if it is like medicine has to be taken in the 50 mg, and by the time it reaches the output and it has to be validated, the quantity has changed, and it is while comparing it with the other history, there's a big difference. So such information has to be guardrailed and corrected. So providing guardrail for the input query is like bouncers working, and doing the protecting the information going out to the user, and providing guardrail at the end is like a quality inspector. So let's understand what guardrails does. So like the information may be biased, it should be out of context of the topic, or there may be a data leak. So all such information, guardrail protects it, and right information is shared with the end user, right? So guardrails are done at the input screening, so it filters the information questions coming in, and while sending it out, giving the output, it checks and verifies the agent's response. Mostly synthesizers are the agents which collect data from the different agents and collate before sending it to the user. So workflow orchestration. So orchestration or the planning agent gets the input, and then that information is processed, and based on, so like while processing we can consider the domain rules and enforce safety, like I mentioned earlier, for a flight solution where the person interacts with the agent to book the flight. So it has to be locations where the flight provides the services, and it is on the earth, and it's not like I need a flight to moon or I need a flight to Mars. So any such information, if not guardrail at the beginning, it will be the unnecessary wastage of tokens. Yeah. So very same thing shown here. User sending the query, it goes to the input guardrail, and once filtered, the flight agent does the answers the question based on, finds the answer to the question, and then the output guardrail validates it and then send it to the send the response to the user. So guardrails can be done in different ways. It can be done in the form of YML files, or it can be done using simple language processing by creating the agents. So let's explore both the options. So for using suppose if you are using LangGraph, so you can install Guardrail, Nemo Guardrail. So Nemo Guardrail is provided from NVIDIA. So there are other solutions also available. So you import the configuration, and then using Rails configuration library, and then you can import the config.yml where the rules are defined. So like you can define the relevant domains like for the flight booking, travel, and so on. So if the guardrail while filtering finds that the question is not related to any of this domain, it will block the query and directly send the response to the user. And if the query is safe, it passes to the next agent. Right? Similarly, for the quality inspector guardrail, which is at the end filtering the response, any output text generated by the synthesizer is given to the guardrail, and it will validate it before sending it to the user. Right? So now suppose you are building an agentic workflow solution. Here is a simple flow where you create the different nodes, the guardrail node, the flight agent node, and the output guardrail node. Suppose if it is a little more complex solution, the input question will come to the planner. First it will look into the cache, and if the cache it finds the query in the recent history, it will pick the response from there, and then it goes to the guardrail. Then from the guardrail it goes to the planner agent, which will divide the questions into multiple tasks, and after processing the synthesizer sends the response to the output guardrail, and the output guardrail then validates it, and then before sending it to the response to the user, it puts into the chat history, and also stores it for the future reference. Right? So the edges which have been created here is like input guardrail. After processing, conditionally, if it is valid, it will send to the flight agent, and then flight agent, after processing, it will share the output to the output guardrail, and output guardrail, if the validation is it passes through, it sends the response to the user, right? Now let's see how this guardrails will help in, like, if there is a relevant query. A user says, I want to fly from Dallas to New York. It's a relevant query. It will pass through the a bouncer guardrail, which is at the start of the conversation. If the user sends a question like tell me a joke, then the bouncer guardrail will block the query. And if there is any sensitive query like credit card details, the guardrail will filter it and does not pass it to the next agent. Yeah, so very same thing I explained again. So if the input guardrail finds the intent is right, it will pass on to the next agent, and the next agent will find the goal from that intent, and based on that goal it will collect the information and take the action, and the output guardrail will then verify the output. Like so, if the input guardrail finds the question is not relevant, there is a fallback response given to the user. Yeah. If there is any sensitive information which is received, that information will be put into the secured audit log, so that system can be made more robust, and so that in future if person does not share such information again. And after filtering that, the rest of the information is passed to the flight agent. Okay, so now if we want to implement guardrails in a solution where we have millions and billions of users, and how to make it a scalable model and maintainable. So in such case, the guardrail agent and the other agents can be asynchronous. So so the throughput is increased, and it improves the real-time response. Also, the logging is to be done for every input which is received by the guardrail, and whether it was red flagged or sent further to the next agent. And later on, this information, log information, is utilized for the evaluation, and accordingly used whenever the next similar response is received by the guardrail. So this is how the safety, quality and compliance can be handled for a agentic solution by using bouncer guardrails for the input questions, and quality inspector guardrails for before responding to the user. So let's now solve the quiz. I will read the questions. You can pause to see the options and hint. First question, in the context of agentic workflows, what is the primary purpose of input screening? Which specific class is utilized to load and initialize guardrail configurations from a file? What is the recommended sequence of nodes when integrating Nemo guardrails with LangGraph? How should a system use Nemo guardrails handle inputs that are detected as relevant to the specific domain? Here are the options, and here is the hint. What technique is suggested to improve the speed of responses in an agentic workflow using guardrails? Here are the options, and here is the hint. Next question. In the provided example code, what logic determines if the input should proceed to the flight agent node? Here are the options, and here is the hint. Next question, when dealing with sensitive information in agentic workflows, what is the recommended action for guardrails? Here are the options, and here is the hint. Next question, why is logging highlighted as an advanced integration tip? Here are the options, and here is the hint. In the flight booking domain, what role does LLM-based intent detection play in Nemo guardrails? Here are the options, and here is the hint. According to the source material, what are the two core benefits of using guardrails? Here are the options, and here is the hint.